How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Last time on the Damage Guild podcast.
So you open up the door and you see a small box on the back. Stoke reaches in and pulls out a metal bar bent into kind of an S shape.
I believe I know what this is. Maybe not a key, but perhaps a crank.
So there are two passageways here.
Shall we take the left of the two?
Your foot slips, and looking down you can see what appears to be some sort of animal droppings.
Remembering my druidic training, I go touch the poop.
You realize without any trouble that this is bat guano. If you have a follow-up question, you could ask me something else that might be ascertained from that.
Okay.
Maybe how big the bat guano is compared to normal bats guano?
Well, I think it's safe to assume that if there are bat creatures, they've been twisted by the magic. Well, okay, I can't ask, like, the normal go-to questions, right? Of, like, does it have weaknesses?
I mean, you might be able to.
You can ask whatever you want. Dane will tell you what he wants to tell you.
Maybe a better question would be, bats vary in their diets. Is this an omnivorous? Is this a fruit-eating bat?
That is an excellent question. You'd have determined that these bats are meat-eating, or rather, not necessarily meat, but
Carnivorous.
Vampire bats.
Vampire bat poop.
Bloodsuckers.
Okay.
Oh.
Yikes among us.
Okay, me discovering the type of bat it is, can I ask, not as something as big as, like, okay, what are its weaknesses, but...
If you have an idea of what it is, then you can make recall knowledge without having to be right there.
Yes, that's what I'm interested in. So I want to know, what's more important to you, Brian? Do you want to know weaknesses, or do you want to know saves? I'd be interested in weaknesses.
Both are useful. Yeah, you could do weaknesses.
Let's do weaknesses instead of saves.
You can't think of any particular weaknesses that a bat would have. I rolled another critical success, so if you would like to follow that up with something else.
Sure, I mean, maybe what saves. I imagine they're very high reflex would be my guess, since they're bats.
Yeah, the reflex is their only standout save, and it's high.
Okay, so they'll be weak to anything else we throw at them.
That's good to know.
I think that's enough knowledge recalling.
Kardain wipes his hand off on his armor.
Gross.
The hallway that you're in continues forward into another room, it looks like, and then in the middle of that, in the middle of the tunnel, it also goes to the left into a different room. It seems as though the bat guano is increasing down the left tunnel.
Maybe we shouldn't go that way.
Yeah, let's continue going straight.
Yeah, I think we explore this way.
Straight ahead, yes.
So you go straight ahead into the next room. This room has also been emptied out, but you can see little divots in the floor here and there, as if there were once pieces of furniture that were solidly placed, locked in position here, but they've since been removed. Like, they're in the rough positioning that you might expect to see for, like, heavy bench that have been placed around the walls.
Yeah, this was the feasting room.
And it looks like this room actually connects to the other hallway, so it has two halls leading to this same room. And then the far right corner of it, the wall has been collapsed, except that it's actually cleared out. There's no rubble here. So it opens up into another passageway that is more natural looking and rougher.
It extends down to the right of us, right?
Yes, ahead to the right.
Okay.
That makes me think that we're not going to be able to return. The fact that it's different. Like, because we're over here and we're, like, in this, like, ancient ruins kind of thing going on. Like, the locked door where the bat guano was headed. Are we sure we don't want to take another crack at the door or the bat guano room?
Yeah, I think it's likely that there's a key for that door somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe if they're people eaters, Maybe the key is, I don't know, in the bat nest.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's fair. It could be.
Or we could keep trying and you could just roll better. I mean, you didn't actually break your lockpicking set yet.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think there's a very high chance that I roll, because I'm going to have to make multiple very high rolls to do it.
Yeah, most locks require multiple successes if they're any good.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like the impasse is we head to the back guano room or we follow this more natural-looking passageway. What do you guys want to do?
Let's check out, so there are the two tunnels that connect the sort of like plus-shaped room to the one that we're in now. Let's check out the other one real quick.
Yeah, there's another passage down.
So going down that one, it looks like this one is basically a mirror image of the other hallway you were in, except there's a lot less bat guano. But you do notice, as you look down that hallway off to the side, that there is another light coming from it.
Oh.
A light?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I don't know if I like that, guys. I kind of like the idea that we're only the ones with light in here.
Let's investigate.
Yeah, should we put out the torch and investigate?
Yeah, so maybe you could lean on us dark seers for a moment, and maybe Kardain and Zara. I could lead.
Yeah, Kardain, lead the way.
And Stoke says to Zara, "I guano, hold your hand."
No. It's not that cheesy.
Zara, shall we? We are dark seers. See, Verrol and I are battle brothers, but you and I, we are dark seers.
Yes, let's.
We've got like our own thing going on, you know, you and I. And it's this. It's the one thing we have in common. Because apparently it wasn't herbs, but it's that we can both see in the dark.
So I think Kardain should go first, Stoke and Verrol between them, and I'll take up the rear.
Well, you enter the room cautiously. This is kind of an interestingly shaped room. It spreads out to the side and then has kind of a pyramid-looking shape, but on its side in front of you, like triangular, but with jagged walls. I don't know how best to describe this.
Yeah.
Might we form a conga line of sorts?
Yes.
To guide us through the darkness.
You don't actually see much in here. It looks like there's some rubble from discarded rocks and scraps of wood, interestingly. And then in the corner, one thing that's causing the light is small glowing stone.
Oh, whoa.
We go inspect the stone.
We turn around and walk away. Pretend like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Yes, Kardain?
We should check out this stone, Zara. It glows.
Yes, go ahead. You have a proclivity for rocks, don't you?
I mean, my hands are covered in bat poop. Are you sure you want me to touch the stone?
Yes, you make a good point there.
Zara, why don't you touch the stone?
Yes, I'll go retrieve it.
Okay.
So I walk over and pick it up.
Pick it up.
Is it just one stone sitting there glowing?
Yes, it is one. You can see it has been carefully shaped, carved into a nice, presentable rhomboid shape.
What color light is it giving off?
It's giving off mostly a daylight color, perhaps slightly yellowish.
Okay, I will cast Detect Magic.
There is magic around you.
Hey, what do you know?
How long does it take for you to learn what something does? 10 minutes, right?
That I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes to try to identify something.
I mean, this stone seems significant. Can we spare 10 minutes?
I would think so. Yeah, let's do that.
If we can spare 10 minutes to repair a shield, we can spare 10 minutes to identify a magical item.
All right, so Zara will sit down with it, maybe in the corner of the room, and spend some time examining it.
We could put the torch back on, I suppose, although...
You've got light right here.
Oh, the stone really is like lighting up the room. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we will sit in the glow of the stone.
All right.
Kardain offers Stoke an arm wrestling match to pass the time.
I'm sure he would gladly accept.
I saw the way you were fixing that shield. I bet you got a pretty good arm wrestling arm.
Of course I do. I exercise every morning, most evenings, often around lunch.
Well, I'm feeling less good about my chances.
Yes, but what about second exercise?
Come on, Stoke, humor me.
If you wish, good Sir Dwarf.
Yes, and Kardain pushes up his sleeve.
All right. Seems kind of...
Rando?
Trivial?
Yeah. Make a strength check. If you want to do this.
No, just Kardain has been, you know, ever since Stoke repaired his shield, like, he's been wanting to, like, see him like break down a door or something. So I'll settle for an arm wrestling match.
All right. Strength check.
Sure, I can do that. I know how to do that. See, Pathfinder doesn't do regular raw skills, Thane.
Fine, you could do an athletics check instead if you want.
Yes. Okay, cool, because I'm trained at that. All right, Stoke, give me what you got. Kardain forces out a 20.
Whoa.
20. I get a 27.
Stoke only used his pinky.
Yeah.
Were we like laying flat on the floor as we did it, or how did we?
You probably like
Take one knee.
sit on some of the bigger pieces of rubble and lay your arm on that.
Brace your elbows on Braun's head.
He holds your hand and he feels you're pushing against him and you feel his resistance. He's like, you can try harder than that, can't you? As you go harder and harder, then he's like, I'm sorry. And then he slams your hand to the ground.
Slams it down. Oh, wow. That was impressive, Stoke.
That's what happens when you challenge Stoke.
Yeah, those muscles aren't just for show, are they? And Kardain gives his arm a squeeze in the dim stone light.
He looks slightly off-put when you squeeze his arm, but doesn't comment. Meanwhile...
Oh, that was a fun way to pass the time, wasn't
it? Meanwhile, Zara, you come to the conclusion that this is most definitely an Everlight crystal.
Ooh, Everlight crystal.
It has no other properties than what you've already observed, really. It basically just sheds light as a torch, and it will continue to do so forever.
Wow.
Okay. So the same intensity of light as a torch?
Yes.
Cool.
I had a friend named Crystal Everlight.
Is it something we could forge into like a chain or necklace? Like a locket?
You could. It's a little bit large for a locket type thing. Like it'd
be a big piece of bling, but it'd be cool to just like...
It's like an inch, slightly larger than having like a D8.
Wow.
About
Nice.
that shape.
Okay. But like a really big D8.
Slightly big D8.
Yeah, I mean, if we could somehow dangle this on you, Verrol, you wouldn't have these human problems in the dark.
Yes, these human problems of mine. Numerous though they are. Hashtag human problems. Yes, perhaps we could fashion it into a... Stoke, make a note to have Erath make a note when we return to the village to hire someone to make this into a necklace, please.
I could probably do that myself if we had the time.
Ah, well, perhaps when we return to camp.
I also need some materials, but yes, I can do it when we get back to town.
Wonderful.
We could just hold this for the rest of this chunk of the adventure instead of burning through our torches.
Indeed.
So, Everlight crystals were at one point relatively common. Like, they were one of the more common magic items that would have been around in the Age of the Wardens, because everyone could just use them to, light their houses and whatever was
cool.
without needing to expend torches and other fuel. And they were relatively simple to make. However, no one actually knows how to make them because the Wardens did all that, so there haven't been any more being produced, and sometimes they get broken, sometimes they get lost, or buried in the rubble as everything happened in the Sundering. So it's rarer to find them nowadays.
Okay, cool.
Stoke, also make a note not to tell Grandfather that we found this, because he will definitely want it if he knows I have it.
I suppose, sir, that sounds fine. As long as you're using it for your job here, right?
Yes. Adventuring purposes only.
Of course.
Why is there a battered key in the chat?
So that was me. I clicked on it. Can I go ahead and delete that from the previous dungeon?
Yeah, if you want.
I probably don't need it anymore, right? And it's just going to confuse me if we find other keys later on.
Or it can be like your Skyrim inventory of quest items that you can't get rid of. And you just have like 1,000 of them that you have to scroll through.
Things, yeah.
Put it back in the party stash for now, and then I'll move it to a storage thing later.
Okay.
So, Stoke, you've got quite the arm wrestling arm, but how is your bat bashing arm?
It's the same arms, Master Dwarf.
Oh, perfect. Then we just need to find some bats.
Yep, same as his leech slashing arm and
His leech critting slash arm.
yeah, his tick crushing arm.
I don't think there's been a fight that we've taken Stoke to yet that he hasn't gotten one crit.
All right, should we head up that way then?
Yes,
Zara, are you holding the light?
Yes, I'll hold it.
the ever-burning crystal.
Everlight crystal.
Yes, indeed, that's what I said.
So you start heading towards where you're pretty sure the bats are?
Yeah, I'm going to get my shield ready because it's like, I mean, come on. Like, we know there's danger in this room.
Yep, I'll wrap the old dueling cape.
Is he still fatigued? How long does spell fatigue last?
No, he didn't cast long enough to get fatigued. It's if you keep on doing the same thing over and over and you want to keep on doing it, then you will become fatigued.
Okay, then yeah, I'll do that now. I'll be casting shield.
Yeah, I was going to say this is obvious danger, so I feel like Zara would, know to do it.
It's buff before the raid time.
So you are shielded at the start of combat.
You could scout, Jay, and get us that initiative bonus.
Yes, I will be scouting. I've got my dueling cape wrapped and my rapier drawn, and I'm sure Stoke has weapon in hand.
As the light starts to advance into the room, you hear the squeaks and screeches all along the ceiling.
Oh, it's not
boy.
just one bat.
Oh, no. Bats live in large colonies.
Roll initiative.
What if we lost to this group of bats?
Everyone get out your +1 on initiative
Ah, that's right.
for the scouting.
Zara gets a 16.
Kardain's on an 11.
Verrol will be going on a 12.
The bats, alerted by the light and the sounds of you advancing into their room, swoop down from the ceiling and start to swarm all about you, filling the tunnels.
Oh, it's a...
Wow, it's like a swarm.
Oh, no!
Oh, swarmy swarm.
Yikes.
So they're filling the tunnels currently where Verrol and Kardain are.
Oh, no.
And where is Bron? Is he on your shoulder?
Yeah, that's where he tends to be.
Does he ride in the cage normally?
You don't have a cage yet.
We failed to craft it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alright, well, everyone in the area of the swarm needs to make 2 saving throws.
Uh-oh.
These are reflex saves.
Is Stoke around?
He's around the corner.
Stoke is around the corner, yeah.
Is he in initiative order?
Yeah.
And this is not magical, I assume.
Yeah.
Ooh, 24, but then a 12.
I got a 14 and a 19.
So I got a 9 and a 6 for bronze reflexes here.
Yikers.
All he's getting to them is a +4.
Yeah, he has the same saving throw as you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because Kardain is trained with a 1+1 dex. I understand now. But those are really bad rolls.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Hold on, little friend.
Wait, did they just roll to dodge Bat Guano?
Probably.
They rolled to dodge Bat Swarm.
Ah, okay.
Verrol failed and then succeeded. Kardain has a critical success, natural 20, and then a failure. So, Verrol, you take a total of 6 points of damage as the bats swarm around, biting into you and causing all sorts of open wounds. Small ones, but adding up.
Youchies.
Kardain, you take the 4 points, and Bron failed both.
So I took damage twice even though I saved one time?
Yes, it's a basic reflex save, which means half damage on a success.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Critical success is when you take nothing, right?
Yeah. And Bron goes unconscious.
Oh,
No.
He lets out a whimper, trying to claw his way into your backpack somewhere before the bats get to him, but
Ooh.
he passes out and is in danger.
Oh, no. Poor Stick.
That ends my turn. So Zara.
Right. So, I don't really know anything about how swarms work in PF2. They're effectively one creature still?
For most things, they're still treated as one creature, but generally single target stuff is going to be less effective than area stuff because you're only hitting one or a few. But for the most part, they're treated as one creature.
Okay. And do these look like normal-sized bats or XL bats?
They're large for bats, but they're not as big as some of the other things that you've seen.
Okay. I don't really have any area of effect stuff. They're all sort of like right in front of me in this tunnel. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do my Shroud of Night. So it makes a will save. The bats.
All right. They fail the save.
Okay.
Sweet.
So they, all creatures are concealed to it, and because Mr. Crowley is right with me, they also become frightened 1. Then, based on what Kardain told me earlier, I'm going to try out a cantrip called Void Warp. The target, they get a basic fortitude save.
Failure.
All right.
Nice.
So, I'm going to take 2d4 void damage. So that's 4.
Wow.
Okay.
And then, yeah, if they'd gotten a critical fail, they would have been enfeebled 1. But that's 4 damage, and that was my last 2 actions.
Both of you, or all 3 of you who failed your saves against the bats, you are bleeding. Rider effect that you were mentioning reminded me of that. So it does seem like it's affected them. The Void Warp, it doesn't care that it's a swarm of creatures.
Okay. Nice.
Stokes' turn. He doesn't really have much that he can do, unfortunately, because this is not his strong suit. But he is going to try to attack around the corner, just kind of swinging his axe. Not much hope of hitting many of them, though. He's trying and swinging, but they're too fast, and he doesn't have any good angle to get to them, so he's missing with all of his attacks.
There's too many of them.
Verrol?
The first thing that I would like to do is get out of the swarm. So since I'm in the midst of the swarm, how would movement work, and is tumbling through an option? Like if I wanted to get on the other side of Kardain to get out.
Well, you don't really need to tumble through because you share the same space. And that's just how it works.
But can I tumble through?
You can, I guess.
I mean, I might as well, right? If it's going to potentially gain me panache, and my attacks aren't going to be very effective against them. So having panache could be helpful.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll try tumbling through first. Ugh, gross. That's a 10.
And that's a failure.
Alright, then I will take a move action to get outside of the swarm. And I suppose I could try attacking. I mean, it's probably less effective. I don't know if it'll be like harder to hit or what, but that's the only real thing I can think to do aside from just being defensive and maybe like raising my cape defensively.
You're not wrong that a marshal has a little tough time against a swarm, but don't you have the... I know you can't do it this turn, but you could set up for your finisher, which deal a small amount of guaranteed damage, right, in the future?
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal of tumbling through, is to try to gain panache, but
oh, okay.
I could try to feint.
Yeah, so Thane, earlier you mentioned that we were going to play with the new swashbuckler rules. Did Verrol's tumble through have the bravado trait?
Yeah, that's true. It's a failure, so you do have panache until the end of your next turn.
Oh, okay, that's right, I forgot. I still gain panache this. Okay, so then I could attack as with my finisher.
Yeah, like you being a source of even just a small bit of damage, if it's consistent, that could really help us.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so I will attack. I'll do a finisher attack. Oh, terrible. It's a 9.
Oof.
Alright. But that is your confident finisher, so you deal half your precise strike damage, even on a miss.
So 2d6. So that's 8.5, which is 4.
Whoa. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, not bad.
You dealt 4 damage despite rolling a 2
yeah.
to hit.
Yep, not bad at all.
Verrol's just so confident, even though you're like totally out of your league with this swarm of bats. You're like, ha!
Ha!
Have
Just
that thing.
skewer a bat or two on my rapier.
Turn them into bat kebabs.
That's a handy tool.
And that concludes my turn.
Alright, so 4 damage. You manage to skewer a bat or two, but unfortunately that doesn't make much of a dent in the overall swarm.
Does he get a chance at the end of his turn to stop the bleeding?
Yes, it is a DC 15 flat check to see if you recover after you take the damage.
What is a flat check? Just to roll a d20?
Oh, it rolled it for you.
Oh, okay. When we switched the turn, it rolled it for me?
Yeah, when I advanced the turn, it automatically rolled everything.
So I guess I failed because I took a damage.
The damage comes first and then the check, but yes, you failed. So you're still bleeding.
Bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Kardain?
Okay, so we know that they're good at reflex, which is unfortunate because I do have something that would be good against swarms, but it is not good against this particular swarm.
Oh.
My scatter scree is an area of effect technically and would deal potentially extra damage to a swarm. But I'm also inside of that swarm and I would hurt myself. That's not good.
You can move.
I could move out of the swarm, but then I feel like the bat swarm's just going to follow me wherever I go. I mean, it's probably going to go to where it's juiciest, right? To like swarm the most of us. Where's Stoke in this swarm? Is he?
He's out in the hallway. But
He's back in the hallway by Zara.
Okay, so I'm next to Verrol and he's next to. Okay, yeah. I mean, no matter which way I split it, if I move out towards Verrol, it's just going to follow us and swarm us again. If I follow where the other guys are, it's just going to go where they are.
Do you want to do something for Bron?
I don't know. I mean, so you're saying he's not insta-dead. You're saying he's unconscious.
Yes, but he is still bleeding, which means his dying condition will increase.
But I feel like the team needs me to do something more useful here.
Bron needs you.
Bron does need me, but And Kardain's going to target the swarm and cast a puff of poison.
Master Kardain, if we are battle brothers, as you claim, wouldn't that make Bron your battle baby? And wouldn't that make you his battle daddy?
One big happy battle.
That's right. Big battle family.
They succeed on the save.
No! Dang it. But they still are taking persistent poison.
Yep, so roll your damage.
Yeah. Roll it.
So, yep, you've poisoned some of them, and some of them start to fall to the ground.
Nice.
Sweet.
And you still have an action?
Okay. Do I run out of this room?
Yeah. I'm going to go with yeah.
Remember, Bron's also in there too, so if he gets swarmed again, he'll take more damage.
Yeah. I'm going to stride. I can move 20, right? Or am I down to 15? I forget.
You can move 20.
I can move 20. Maybe I should move really far away so that it might make you and I less appetizing for the swarm, Verrol. Alright, I'll do my full move and take Bron with me.
Alright, and you run all the way to the back of the room.
Yeah.
Alright, he takes the damage and also fails, so he is at dying 2.
I mean, I could do something to recover Bron, but that would take like a whole turn, and I feel like I need to help the party as much as I don't want to lose him, you know?
The swarm moves down the hall towards the largest cluster of targets, which is Zara and Stoke and Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
So, all three of you now need to make reflex saves twice.
Okay, that seems like fun. Reflex. All right. Zara got a 22 and a 23 for my reflex saves.
Nice.
Worked out well.
Sweet.
Stoke got a 23 and a 25.
Wow. Nice. Great job, team.
Come on, Mr. Crowley. Reflex. Ooh, he got a 10 and a 24.
Okay, so there's one failure and others are all successes for half damage. So, Zara, you take 2 points of damage total. Stoke takes 1 point of damage because he got a critical success. Mr. Crowley actually also takes 2 points of damage because I rolled 1 on their damage both times.
Phew, considering he has 5 hit points, that's a good thing.
Goodness.
Alright, and that is the end of their turn. Oh, you also take the persistent bleeding damage.
Ah, yes. I will at the end of my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, you stupid swarm of bats.
Sorry, the persistent damage is only if you fail to save at least once. And you succeeded. Mr. Crowley says bleed damage.
Okay. Now, nothing they've done has, targeted us yet, right? It's all been just save-based?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So the concealment hasn't come into effect.
Yeah. Plus, they are bats, so they don't really need to see.
But doesn't it say unless they have greater dark vision? Let's see. Shroud of Night.
Shrouded in murky darkness treats bright light as dim light, which means unless it has greater dark vision, all creatures are concealed to it.
Okay.
So that's what that does, but they're bats.
Because they have echolocation. It's like a different sense.
Mm-hmm. They don't have to rely on sight.
I see.
Technically, that's giving away game information that you didn't recall knowledge for, but I mean,
yeah,
they're bats.
Yeah, I probably should have realized that anyway. So I could spend an action to sustain that, which would keep up the concealment and the frightened. Is there something I'm better off doing with my actions? Not really.
And the frightened, at least, does still have an effect.
Yeah. Yes, I think I'll spend one action to sustain that, and then cast Void Warp again. So it makes a fort save.
It fails because it is frightened.
Nice.
Yes.
Frightened comes in handy again.
Yes.
Alright, so I will roll damage. That is a 3.
Those are some weird looking dice.
Yeah, I picked the futuristic ones for no good reason.
Alright, takes 3 damage. You can see a good chunk of the swarm has collapsed to the ground. There's still enough there to be dangerous, but most of them are dead.
Okay. And then I make my saves.
It would make it for you, but you're not bleeding. So Mr. Crowley will take damage, and he succeeds on his check. He's no longer bleeding.
Oh, phew. That's good because he has 2 hit points left.
Stoke is going to swing wildly with his axe.
Yes. Swing, Stoke, swing.
His other actions that he has would do absolutely nothing, so this at least has a chance.
Swing, swing, swing by the handle of your axe.
Oh, and with his wild blows, he's swinging around and he just slashes through the last few of the bats.
Yes.
The handful that remains scatter off into the caves and cease to attack you.
Stoke, once again.
Stoke.
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 Stoke. Stoke. Stoke. Stoke. Stoke.
He just blows on his hands to cool it off and
Licks the blood off of his axe.
wipes his gloves on his shirt. Thank you.
Oh, too easy.
Okay, if Kardain has a moment, I will conjure a piece of magical fruit, and I squish it and give all the nutrients into Braun's mouth. Come on, little one. Don't leave me.
You just squish it up and begin gently shampooing it into his hair. Into his little viney.
So you use your cornucopia on him?
Yes, I will cornucopia. Roll dice. Braun.
You healed him. He takes 1 more point of damage and stabilizes. Bleeding stops.
Braun?
He wakes up and looks up at you, scared and nervous, but nuzzles up close.
I thought I'd lost you. How is everyone else holding up?
I've certainly seen better days.
Yes.
I feel as though I've lost 2 hit points.
Stoke touches his hand to his cheek and says, just a few minor scratches.
It's only a flesh wound. I feel as though I have roughly 63% of my maximum hit points.
Do you think we should take a moment to try to administer first aid to Verrol?
Master Kardain, is there any chance you possess more of that fruit?
I can't make more right now. I gave the only piece I had to Braun.
No. I mean, I'm so glad your stick is all right.
Verrol, if I asked Zara for her first aid kit, would you let me tend to your wounds?
Absolutely not. I would sooner skewer myself on my own rapier than let you touch me in that manner.
All right, fine. And Kardain, gestures over to Zara and says, "Fine, she can treat you. I'm gonna spend some time with Braun. This is important." And he sulks off to the corner and starts to meditate to try to regenerate his druidic powers.
Zara says, yes, well, if I must. Come here, Verrol. And she
Indeed you must.
begins working on him.
Yeah, it's actually really inconvenient that we only have 1 healing kit in the party, because I could be performing first aid on myself if I had one, but they're kind of expensive.
Perhaps we ought to invest in another.
Ooh, that is a spicy 9 for my treat wounds check.
Ooh.
That's a failure. So nothing happens.
Okay, nothing happens. All right.
Blast.
And that's 10 minutes, is that right?
Yep.
Oh, but he's immune for another 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but if Kardain was meditating while you were doing that treatment, I technically would have my cornucopia back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Verrol, how did it go?
Not well. I seem to be not very good at getting healed.
I see. Zara, you did the best you could, I'm sure.
Well, he wasn't exactly holding still.
Yes.
Yes.
It was no fault of Lady Zara's. It was definitely me.
Verrol, I've centered myself, and I should be able to produce more fruit. Would you eat it if I made it?
I would devour it.
We've been forgetting that you two had persistent damage that you're supposed to be taking as well.
Oh, yeah. How do we get rid of that?
Keep on rolling until you succeed.
So I should just roll D20 checks? Oh, wait. Roll recovery check. Success.
Okay, so you took 1 more damage.
Yeah, so top right corner, if you click the bleed icon, Jay, you should be able to do what I just did.
Okay. Dang it. I failed. How many times? So I just keep rolling until I succeed?
That just dealt the damage. Now you hit the roll recovery check and it'll...
Oh, okay.
Well, Verrol, as soon as you stop bleeding, I have some fruit for you.
Ah.
I think there's a way that you can treat it with medicine, but I'm trying to find that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We can try to stop bleeding with medicine.
While she was treating your wounds, you could say you just apply that to this, and that'll mean that it is particularly helpful. Therefore, it reduces the DC to 10.
Oh, okay.
Which is what Jay rolled.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Okay. You said the damage happens before the check, right?
If you're being treated, then it gives you one free check with no consequences for failure.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm at 12 then. 12 of 19.
I might be misreading that, but we'll just go with that for now.
No, that makes sense. If you're doing first aid, like, the first thing she would try to do is stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Verrol,
Yes.
I will make for you a fruit.
A juicy peach, please.
If I know how to make a peach, I will.
There's nothing like a juicy peach on a hot summer day. In a cave. With green water.
I guess technically that should have used her medicine check to determine how helpful that was, but we'll just say that it's done.
Okay.
Nice, for 7. That's perfect. That's exactly how many HPs I need to regain full.
Excellent.
Thank you, Master Kardain. Your fruit is unparalleled.
Here's a question, Thane. You were saying that since my medicine is natural medicine, if I perform natural medicine, could that count towards my focus spells?
Yeah, but now you're in a cave and nature all around you has been destroyed, so there's no herbs to gather.
Okay, so I can't... Right. Well, I think regardless of whether I'm using natural medicine, it's still based on Kardain's nature. But I think that makes sense. You're saying if I don't have access to, like, the forest, it's not really doing the same for his mental state?
Yeah.
Okay. Zara, could I borrow your heal kit?
Why, yes, I suppose so.
And if you like, I could borrow your soap or something. We could, like, spend some of the water from a canteen and we could wash my guano hands first.
Yes, please, let's do that.
As soon as Zara hands Kardain her healing kit, Verrol takes 3 giant steps back away from him.
You're that concerned?
Don't mind me. Go about your business.
I mean, are we really going to keep up this dynamic for the whole campaign? You're scared of... I'm supposed to be the party healer.
You'll just have to earn my trust. Once I've seen you successfully heal other people enough, perhaps one day I will allow you to try it on me again. But that day is not today.
What if I successfully heal myself?
We'll just see.
Okay, Kardain is going to guidance himself, and then I will... Thank you, Zara. And yeah, I'll make sure his hands are clean, and I will do this.
Actually, guidance can't be applied to this.
Oh, really? It can't?
Because it's a 10-minute action, and guidance lasts till the start of your next turn.
I can't just guidance this. Delay that. Shouldn't I actually just roll a nature skill check? Because my nature is +7, but my medicine would only be +4, theoretically.
What if you shift-click Treat Wounds button? Does that come up with the menu?
Treat wounds skill. Oh, okay. Treat wounds skill nature. Okay, let me try now. Oof.
You still failed.
Only by 2? Well, here's the thing. If we were outside and I had access to fresh herbs, I would have succeeded. Because that's a +2.
But you are not.
Well, just for Jay to hear it, even if Verrol won't hear me out, Jay, that was a success if I was outside.
Ooh, that looks like a failure to me. Terrible shame. Terrible shame you're not good at healing things.
Yeah, I guess I would have been better off just trying to refocus for another cornucopia and then eating more fruit.
Well, you've already been here for 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah. I say we move on and, just hope for the best.
Let's just get on the road and...
I don't think that's not great. Like, we should try to... In Pathfinder, the expectation is your party is doing everything that it can to recover in between fights. Like...
Should we rest then?
Well, no. I if we just give it another 10 minutes, I can produce more fruit.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, if we were in a situation where there's like something in the cave that's hunting us, but I don't get that sense, right?
Yeah, let's take the time to heal up.
The longer that you stay here, the more uncomfortable you feel just because of this magic presence all around you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start mutating before long, you guys.
Yeah, but you don't feel anything like actively harming you at this moment.
Well, I'm not proposing that we like stay long enough to like give fruit to Mr. Crowley, give a fruit to Zara. I mean, like I think Zara is okay with you're only missing 2 HP, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we like. I agree with Thane. They're like we need to move along, but I feel like Kardain's hurt enough.
Yeah.
Spend another 10 minutes. Roll your check. Roll your hit points, rather.
I'm sorry you guys have to wait, but I can't just keep pumping out fruit.
Like some sort of dwarven fruit cannon. That would be ridiculous.
What am I, a fruit vending machine?
Yeah.
Do you think this is a fruit factory?
On the bright side, I'm fully healed, and no, I get it. I mean, if we don't want to sit another 10 minutes, I understand.
So it's been 40 minutes since you killed the bats, and you've been sitting in the room
In the bat guano.
surrounded by bat guano.
Yummy.
Perfect.
And I suppose someone probably searched the room in that time, too.
Yes. Not me, though. Someone else.
Oh, yes, it was me.
Okay, so you managed to find one interesting-looking item, along with some silver and copper. Looks like kind of like a brooch in the shape of a monkey on a tree.
Huh.
My.
A brooch in the shape of a monkey on a tree. Interesting.
A tree monkey brooch. Is that in someone's inventory?
It is in the loot item that is right next to you, so you can...
Let's add all this stuff to our stash. Let's get stashed. All right. It has been looted. Unusual object. The nature of this object is unclear.
Do we want to try to figure out what it does?
Yeah, Zara will cast Detect Magic.
Is that the 10-minute version?
So if you want to spend the time, the Arcana check to identify.
Oh, it's Arcana.
Yeah.
That's a 10-minute process, right?
Just seeing if it is magical is 2 actions.
But Detect Magic doesn't detect on a specific thing. It just says there's magic somewhere within 30 feet. And considering where you are, everything is magic.
Yeah, so let's just pocket it and save it for later.
Okay, yeah. But I can exclude stuff that I already know, like anything that we're holding.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'll try it. I'll just cast it and exclude any of the party members.
You do detect magic.
Okay, so we know that it's probably magical.
Okay.
All right, so what about that crevice in the bottom right corner of the room adjacent? Shall we explore that?
Bottom right.
Bottom right, yes.
Okay, so we've gotten all the other corridors explored, except for that one door that we couldn't unlock. So now it's the rough stone natural passageway is the only one left.
And then the main sort of hallway coming off of the...
Oh, right. The main hallway that extended off the big pseudo-octagonal room.
Yep.
Well, let's try the natural little passageway there.
Yes, let's.
Okay, so we don't want to check the main hall?
We will, after this.
Okay.
Side quests first.
Yes.
All right. You proceed down the side passage. You start to pick up a rather unpleasant smell up ahead.
Like more bat guano?
No, it's more like rotten foliage.
Oh, yeah, I think we should engage exploration, guys.
Okay.
Do you want to just lock in the same loadout as last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, we do that.
Cape and rapier.
Yeah, shield for Kardain and Zara, the shield spell?
Yes, I'll do the shield spell.
And I guess Stoke's shielding as well.
Yeah.
Verrol, you're leading the way.
Stoke is. I'm just moving faster than he is.
Yeah, I think Stoke should lead.
He needs light.
Yeah.
We are going through a very narrow...
Twisty, turny cave.
Yeah, it's twisty, like, I keep getting the, no, you can't move here, wall. You know you can't move here.
I dare say these are the most awkwardly placed 5-foot squares I've ever encountered in my life.
You travel about 40 feet down the passage, and as your light spreads around the corner, Stoke stops in front and holds up a hand and says, "There's some sort of creature up ahead." And peeking around from behind him, you can see this green winged humanoid, kind of small, and it's perched on a little rock next to a pool of green water.
Does it have bat-like features?
It does. Vaguely bat-like, mostly just the wings.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, yeah, it's like a goblin with bat wings.
Yeah.
It seems as though its flesh is just constantly dripping and kind of rejoining with itself. Like it'll drop off its arm into its leg and ooze back into it.
What?
Oh man, that's cool.
That's disgusting. And I love it.
And it sees you and doesn't immediately make a move to attack. Just kind of cocks its head to the side. And then it begins to speak.
Oh.
Well, what brings you here?
He's speaking common?
He is.
Oh.
Verrol clears his throat. Pardon the intrusion, your greenness. We are here to investigate the greenness of the water. I imagine you might have some insight into the nature of said colorness, perhaps?
Green is a lovely color, isn't it? And he shows off his own green oozing skin.
It does look rather appropriate for one of your ilk.
You can see that the pool next to him actually looks like it's filled with the same water that was flowing out along the trough and in the river. Although you don't see any connections here, it's just a separate pool, so you're not sure how it would have gotten here.
He's got his own supply.
What is it you do around here exactly?
Are you interested? This is a lovely little home.
I am rather interested. Care to give us a tour?
Yeah.
You do seem like a pleasant fellow, and he jumps and lightly glides over to you, landing in front of your feet.
I kind of cringe back, but trying not to, you know? Just sort of lean back a little bit.
As he lands in front of you, you just catch this whiff of rotten smell.
Like sulfury, bad eggs.
I try to turn my grimace into a smile. Yes, please. Lead on.
As you'll see to your right is my lovely abode. And he gestures grandly towards his pond. To your left, you'll see caves. But you're smart enough to figure all that out on your own. Surely you don't need help from someone like me.
Well, what we do need help with is determining how you came to be this way. And why does someone who swims in a pond have wings?
I've questioned that myself. I don't quite remember how I came to be this way or why I'm here, but I am here and this is my home. And I have been here for as long as I can remember.
So you are not a family man, you live on your own?
Of course I don't live alone. Why, my friend is right there in the pond.
Ah, your friend.
Friend?
Your friend.
Ominous.
The green slickness on the top is too thick to really see through it at all.
Gives a little ripple.
Pray tell, do you have a name?
My name is Thorbarf.
Thorbuff.
That's a fine name. Nice to meet you, Thorbarf.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance, Thorbarf.
And you as well. You start getting the idea that he's really just trying to butter you up and compliment you as much as he can, and he doesn't really mean anything that he's saying.
Is your friend subservient to you, or is it the other way around?
We live together, we work together, we play together.
I see. Symbiosis. Might you point us in the direction of the source? Yes, the source of this green liquid in which you reside. Do you know where it comes from?
Surely you saw it coming along that little canal?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
So have we taken a wrong turn? Perhaps we should go back.
Well, that depends on where you're going.
Well, as I said, we seek the source of this green liquid.
You never said you sought the source. You asked me where it was.
Ah, correct, yes. My mistake. Apologies. We do, in fact, seek the source, if you would be so kind.
Well then, head right back out there, take a right.
Ah, indeed. Well, thank you, my good man. It was lovely to meet you. Perhaps we shall come back to visit another time.
Yes, I love what you've done with the place.
Lovely decor. Yeah. I slowly back away from him. Thank you.
He takes another hop forward as you back away.
Uh-oh. We got a stage 5 clinger, folks.
He says, Greg's place?
Yeah.
Do you love me?
You ever drink Baileys from a shoe?
Yeah, do you love me? Yeah.
I'll do the same to you that I did to old Curly Jefferson.
Curly Jefferson.
No idea what you were...
Oh, no.
Old Greg.
Old Greg.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we keep smiling, but like bowing and walking backwards.
Gradually backing out.
This guy's great. Maybe we should ask him to join our party for some comic relief.
Yeah, have you ever considered leaving your home and becoming an adventurer?
That is a great big world out there to see. It's a shame you should be stuck in a cave like this.
But this cave is so pleasant. It smells wonderful. That's all that I need right here.
But what about all the other caves? Surely you yearn to seek more of them.
Oh, those caves have other people living in them. This one's mine.
Ah, well, I suppose we ought to leave you to it then.
Feel free to come back and visit.
We certainly might
We will
do that.
absolutely consider it.
Absolutely, possibly, maybe do that. Ta-ta!
Good day.
Yes, it was nice getting to know you and your cave.
He follows you about halfway down the tunnel before you pull ahead of him, and he stays behind. And you notice that with every step that he takes, he leaves these footprints.
Ugh. Well, Thorberf is my new favorite NPC of this campaign.
I wonder what his deal was.
Yeah, I mean, from the look of his, physique, I wonder if he was a goblin before being mutated.
He may have been at one point. Stoke, kindly dynamite that passage back there. Close it off, please.
What if I could, sir? But unfortunately.
Well, shall we continue down the main corridor?
Yeah, I think we try the main corridor now. And we don't want to meet his friend, right?
No, definitely
something
not.
tells me we don't want to make his acquaintance.
Yes.
Okay, you head back to the central room, and then down the larger hallway
Yeah.
where the canals are. And you come to a dead end. The canals seem to continue on underneath the stone wall in front of you. And you can see the water pouring out one side, so it's coming from somewhere in there. But in front of you, there's a small indentation.
An alcove.
Yeah, a small alcove in the wall. And then in front of that is a heavy stone slab. It's not like the other walls. It's much smoother and more nicely shaped. And looking along the corners of it, you can see that it looks like it's actually a separate piece from the surrounding walls. Mm-hmm. But it is just a stone wall in front of you.
I was going to ask if we can search around, look around this slab and the walls. And
Yeah, let's look specifically for a square hole in the rock somewhere.
Yeah, that's the investigate action, right? So we do still have that weird crank key thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's quite cranky.
Okay, you can investigate. I don't know that you really need to make checks for this one, actually. So you search around. You don't see any holes to insert that into. What you do see is that it looks like this stone, it's set into the floor, and so it is in some sort of track, probably. It would slide left or right, but you don't see any way to do the sliding.
Right. We can't just try to strong-arm it, Stoke and I.
It would be very difficult considering how smooth it is and that it's going sideways.
Yeah. Do you want to give the locked door another try, Verrol?
Yeah.
I have a fresh guidance for you. It's been enough time almost, right?
If it's our only option. But that only helps me on one check, and I have to succeed on multiple checks.
Can you apply hero points to skill checks?
You can put it on any check.
What if we guidance, and if you fail, we give up? But if you succeed, maybe we spend more resources and try to push through.
Is it possible that Thorberf is the key to everything?
He still has immunity to your guidance, by the way, for the next 15 minutes.
Okay, but that's an option for us. I mean, we're kind of stuck here.
Yes, but again, is it possible that Thorberf is the key to everything?
Probably.
Well, I thought you were creeped out by the guy, Verrol.
Of course. Are you not?
Isn't that why we, smiled and nodded and stepped slowly backwards?
Yes, but that was before we realized that we had no other way to go.
Right. Okay, so now that he's our only option, now we're going to come crawling back to him.
Yes. Well, we did say that it was possible we might return.
That's true.
So,
I'm just saying we have other options, okay?
not necessarily good options, though.
No, they're not good. It would involve us, spending precious resources to try to get through that door.
Maybe we could ask him if he's seen any keys lying around.
Okay. That's fair. Thorberf?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home?
You call down his hallway, or are you walking back to him?
We'll alert him to our presence.
Yeah, we'll walk about halfway down the corridor and call to him.
Okay.
Thorberf?
You've returned so soon?
Yes, we missed you terribly. We were so growing accustomed to the smell down here.
You see he peeks around the corner.
Have you perchance come across a key of any sort down here?
Keys. I have no keys, but people who live in the other caves have a key.
Ah, yes. Could you take us to them?
No, of course not.
Could you point us in their direction, then?
Well, they're in those caves. And he just points to the continuing passage on the other side of his little pool.
Could you introduce... do they have names, these people?
Yes, do you like them? You seem to dislike them very much. Have they done something to offend you?
No, I don't think so. He stops and thinks for a moment, looks a little bit confused. I think we're friends.
Well, then perhaps we should all go.
Well, I mean, Thornbirth, we're friends. You and us.
Yes, so perhaps if you are friends with us and we are friends with you, and then you are friends with them, then perhaps you could introduce us so we could all be friends with each other. Perhaps friendship is what this world really needs more of.
Friendship is magic, after all.
Perhaps it's what this cave needs more of.
But you see, they don't want anyone going down into that cave.
Oh, well, why's that?
I don't quite remember.
Is it possible, speaking theoretically here, that you might provide a brief description of these other people who live in this cave?
And I'll aid Thorberf's recall knowledge check. Were they big? Were they small?
They are about my size. He's classed as a small creature. They are blue and red and have tails.
Blue and red and have tails.
Do they have wings?
No, of course not. Only I have wings.
Ah, yes, correct. Of course.
Well, but Mr. Crowley, and Kardain points...
No.
Don't say anything.
Don't do that? Oh.
Those are not wings, they are merely arms with feathers. Disregard.
Yes.
Purely vestigial.
Only you have wings, Thorberf. Do they have pointed tails? Do they have sharp barbs at the end of their tails?
No, that would be silly.
Do they walk upright on two legs or on all fours?
Walk around on two? They're like you.
Do they carry weapons?
Sometimes.
Do they have sharp teeth?
Why do you care so much about them? What about us?
Because we would like to get to know you all. Everyone down here in these caves. All the denizens. I can see you plainly with my own eyes. Thanks to the light here.
Thorberth, if we might ask something of you... I think we could become even better than just friends. We could be what's called best friends. Do you like the idea of that, Thorberf?
Yes, of course. It sounds wonderful. He kind of sidles up next to you and gets a little bit of ooze on your leg.
Oh, man. Oh.
Yes, Kardain, perhaps you and Thorberf can stay here and become best friends. Come along. The rest of us will head down into the tunnels.
Perhaps even battle brothers. And I give Kardain a nudge as I pass by along the wall.
I would like to try to make a recall knowledge check based on what he just told us to see if I can figure out what these things might be.
Okay. You think it could be some type of lizard folk or kobolds. The blue and red skin has you leaning towards kobolds.
Okay.
Because they can have many different colors of skin.
I see.
Whereas the lizards are less likely to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, real quick, we've been engaging with Thorberf a lot. And there's a whole bunch of things that we could be doing with him in these conversations that we're not doing.
Such as
gather information, make an impression, request.
We haven't found the need to roll any checks so far.
Well, but we had a request for him, which was, would you please go get the key? But I don't think we're in a good enough relationship with him yet for him to say yes.
No, he's not going to go down into that other cave.
Even if he thought we were best friends?
Yes, he's made that plain because he knows that they will attack him, and he doesn't want to associate with them.
Okay.
Besides, we don't want Thorberf in harm's way. He's a nice enough fellow. If anyone should be going into harm's way, it's us.
He says, I wouldn't go down there if I were you.
Yes, neither would we. Unfortunately, we must. Thorberf, you are a national treasure. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I'm pleased to have met you this day.
It's always a pleasure to meet a new face, especially one such as rugged and manly as yours.
Well, thank you, my good man. Well, we shall be returning this way after we have introduced ourselves to our new friends, but don't wait up for us.
Solarg isn't going to like that.
You may be right.
Yes, if you find any magic rings and feel like having any battle of riddles anytime soon, just let us know. We'll probably be back this way very soon. Ta-ta.
As you leave his little cave and step foot into the next passage, you hear a bubbling from the pool behind you.
Uh-oh.
And then this strange, muddy-looking humanoid-ish creature emerges and roars viciously in your direction.
What?
Thorberf, kindly tell your friend that we are his friends as well.
I told you Sorlag wouldn't like that.
Oh, Sorlag is... I understand.
friend.
Oh, he is your... it's all coming together now.
And roll initiative.
Thorberf, I apologize for what we're about to do. It's a terrible business being an adventurer. Perhaps one day you will understand.
Zara got a natural 1 for a total of 5.
Rough.
Natty onezo.
I didn't roll very well either. I'm on a 9.
Verrol is on a 17.
And I guess we weren't doing our exploration activities anymore.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, because we kind of like were chatting with Thorberf.
Now you switched into conversation, so
Yeah.
Solarg goes first. He reaches into the pool, or this muddy creature, reaches into the pool, pulls out a fistful of this disgusting mud, and starts throwing it.
Does this thing have eyes?
You're not sure. Its whole face is just kind of oozing mud piles everywhere, so it might have eyes somewhere under it.
Gross. Thank goodness.
I mean, it has little eye holes where it probably would have eyes. You just can't see them through the mud. Actually, it's more like he's funneling the muddy water through him and through his hands, creating this pressurized beam of mud.
Dang, dude.
Mud beam.
Pressurized mud beam. Sorlag uses mud beam. It's super effective.
And it spews out towards Kardain. So make a reflex save.
Gross!
It actually hits Kardain and Zara. So both of you make reflex saves.
Ooh, brutal. Another natural 1.
Oh,
Well, it's balanced out by Kardain's natural 20.
crit
success,
success. Dang, natty 1 and natty twinzo.
That's going to be rather bad for Zara.
Oh, no.
Kardain, you're fine. Because of that critical success, you completely dodge the mud, and then it instead blasts Zara square in the face.
Kardain, dodges out of the way, and then it hits me.
Yeah, and then it just steps out of the way.
She doesn't have cover by being behind Kardain, does she?
Well, it's a save, so it wouldn't matter.
I think cover might matter here.
Let me check.
Because I know, not that Kardain has one, but there's certain shields that can confer bonuses to people behind you.
It's lesser cover, which lesser cover is a +1 to armor class, but doesn't affect saving throws. Standard cover would be reflex saves also.
Okay.
Oh, helps reflexes. Okay.
So it blasts you hard, and Zara, you are immediately knocked unconscious.
What?
Oh, good night.
That is some serious mud.
No joke.
Oh boy. Okay. And this was why I was trying to lobby for another 10-minute break, because I don't have my cornucopia. And you are down.
Dang.
This says I'm dying too?
So if the effect that knocked you out was a critical success from the attacker or the result of your critical failure, you gain the dying 2 condition instead of 1.
Ah, okay.
I just wanted to make sure that it also applied to saves there, and yes, it does. So that's why you're at dying 2.
Awesome.
Now, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad if it hadn't been a critical failure.
Yeah. Didn't you pick up healing potions before we left town, Kardain?
We have healing potions on you guys. I don't have one in my inventory.
I don't...
I think Stoke has one.
Oh, that's right. We gave one to Stoke.
And maybe Zara has the other one.
Maybe I do. I can't tell you. I'm unconscious now.
You can't look in your inventory while you're unconscious.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That would be out of character knowledge.
Well, no, I can't.
You can't?
I can't because I'm unconscious. I can't do anything.
I mean, can you, actually look at your character sheet?
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
I feel like we would remember if you had a healing potion on you.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And then it's Thorberf's turn. He says, told you he wouldn't like it, and I'm afraid I can't let you go there either.
Oh, but Thorberf, I thought we were friends.
He'll always be my friend. He waves his hand, and then the floor underneath you becomes slick.
Oh.
Whoa.
So everyone has to make a reflex save or an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Does that not include Braun since he's on my back? or my shoulder?
Yeah, it's Verrol, Stoke, and Kardain.
Oh my goodness.
No, mine wasn't any better.
I have a great reflex save, but I rolled a 1, which is a 10.
And I rolled a 5, which is a 9.
So Verrol and Kardain, you both slip on this newly created slick beneath you and fall prone. Stoke manages to keep his footing.
Boy, oh boy, Stoke.
Really, it's just the dice because he's only as powerful as you guys are.
TPK, anyone?
Oh, we need to get Zara up. That's where this starts.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today's actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.